Hello and welcome back to Fallout 76. Today I am on the public test server to have a look at some new legendary effects that I think could enhance the Ghoul playing experience. Some of these effects are Ghoul specific and some of them apply to anybody, but they're all effects that I think could actually just make the Ghoul playing experience overall better. So I'm going to go through all the effects that I've picked out here and we'll talk about all of them, and there's actually a couple that I actually want to test out, and this is one of them. So we have this effect, it's ferals. Target kills make you go feral faster. So obviously this could be useful for, if you're playing a melee ghoul and you want to keep that feral meter empty because that makes you the most effective in combat, and maybe you want to take chems. And I think that would be the frustrating thing about playing that way is you take a chem and it actually fills your feral meter. So you could have this to maybe counteract that a bit. Next up, we have an armor effect. It is called Lucid. Increases damage reduction up to 6% as you fill your feral meter, currently 6%. And this is an armor effect only. It doesn't work on power armor. So I do like playing as a ghoul, but my main thing with it, the thing I don't like is the glow management. I just feel like it requires too much attention. So something that reduces incoming damage, I think could be very beneficial to that. Taking less damage means you'll just lose less glow when you're in combat. Downside of this effect is that, it's only going to work if you're playing as a full, like a non-feral ghoul. You want that feral meter full to get the benefit of this. If you're playing as a melee ghoul with no feral meter, obviously this isn't going to do anything for you at all. It'd be like using overeaters and then having an empty food and drink bar. And for the sake of completeness, I will mention that there is a weapon version of this. Damage increases up to 40% as you fill your feral meter, currently plus 40%. This is basically the Gourmand's effect, but for ghouls. And I think it's about as useful as the Gourmand's effect. It's not something I would bother with because I just think there's too many other options that are better. The next one we have is a 2-star armor effect, and it also cannot be applied to power armor. It's regular armor only. It is called Elementalist. Increase all resistance by plus 5. And you can see there over on the left, cryo resist, damage resist, energy resist, fire, and poison are all plus 5. It says all resist, but it doesn't affect radiation resistance at all. Now this one as is, I find a little iffy. I'm not really sure that I would actually use this with the plus 5. The reason being, if you put this on a full set, you'll get plus 25 to all resistances. But the damage and energy part of that, I think if you're wearing a full set of decent armor, plus 25 is not going to be, plus or minus actually 25 is going to be something you probably aren't going to notice. So what you're left with is just 25 fire, poison, and cryo, and we have individual effects for that. So I could actually have just 3 pieces of armor, one with cryo, poison, and fire on it. And then I have 2 pieces that I can put other things on, like maybe powered or something. And I think you'd actually get more benefit. So I think for this to actually be something I'd want to use, each piece would have to provide more than plus 5, probably quite a bit more. So the next effect I want to talk about is a 3rd-star effect. It is called Reflex, 2% evade. And this is another one that could only go on regular armor. In fact, all of the new armor effects, whether they're ones I'm mentioning specifically or not, none of the new armor effects will actually go on power armor. So this will stack up to 10% if you have a full set of that. And that is the equivalent of 10% damage reduction. Again, that's just one more thing that can help. Anything that reduces incoming damage or avoids damage altogether will just help you with the glow management, which is the big thing that I'm looking for as a playable ghoul, is just something that'll help with that glow management. But we also have another 3rd star, which I think would actually be really good for a ghoul as well. It is called Healthy. Max health increased by 20, max HP increased by plus 20. So again, this can stack up to plus 100 with a full set. And if you're playing as a ghoul, every point of health also gives you a point of glow. So this is going to give you with a full set plus 100 health, plus 100 glow. So that's just going to make you a lot more tanky. And at the moment, I don't know which one of these I would choose. I do like the evade chance, but having a chance to add that much more health, that much more glow to the character, I find very appealing as well. So the last effect that we're going to look at, and then we'll actually go out and try a couple of these, is glowing. It is a 3rd-star armor effect. You can see I have it here on my hand cannon, which is the brand new weapon. I do want to do a video on this weapon, by the way. I haven't done it yet because damage on the PTS at the moment is just bugged, and everything is just doing insanely high damage, much more than it's supposed to do. Not just this weapon, but all weapons. So glowing, target kills increase glow by a small amount. This one is directly affecting what I'm talking about, glow management. Every time you kill an enemy, it's going to increase your glow. It's going to fill your glow meter by some amount. I believe it's 20 rads is what you get. Obviously, this is something good if you're facing multiple enemies. Against a single boss, not going to be all that useful, but against a lot of mobs, which is mostly what you're fighting, this should help tremendously keeping your glow up. So first up, we're going to have a look at the Feral's effect. Now, I could have put glowing on this as well, since it is a 3rd star, but I didn't want to have to watch 2 different bars, so we're going to test those effects separately. And I'm just curious how much of the Feral meter will go down. Obviously, we're going to be losing glow here and there, but I filled my bar. I'm imagining that'll be get down quite a bit. And I'm not sure that this is the effect you really want, so yeah, I'm not a melee character either, but damage right now is just so... Damage right now is so bugged, but you can see my meters dropping a little. Let's get into the heart of the enemies here and see what that looks like with each. I mean, it looks like it's a fair bit. This should be enough, I would think, if you are a chem using, you know, feral, and you're using chems. Oh, jeez. Definitely not a melee character. Yeah, this is definitely making a dent in my. And so far, I'm not losing any glow. That's a problem. Let's see here. So yeah, I mean, you can see the bar move, and I think if you can see the bar move in a meaningful way, I mean, our feral meter is down. It was basically full, or almost full when I started this. So we've lost probably, yeah, about half. Just killing, I mean, that wasn't that many enemies, maybe. Well, it was at least 10 because I do have a kill streak going, but it wasn't that many. But yeah, ignore the damage. Like, ignore any damage I'm doing right now because everything is just stupidly bugged and everything is doing just crazy damage. But yeah, just going through this one little location, I imagine if I had taken, you know, suppose I was at empty and I had taken, say, Psycho Buff or something, this probably would have been enough to take me back down to feral, I imagine. So yeah, I think this effect, if that's what you're going for, I could see it being useful. Obviously, you are giving up damage by doing that, because it is the 1st star effect. So I don't know if this would be something players would actually want. I haven't actually played my character as feral. I always played him as a ranged character. Okay, so next up, we're going to try out glowing. I've got my hand cannon here. Yeah, just ignore the damage. The damage is way higher than it's supposed to be, but I let myself get knocked about a bit, so you can see my glow is down to not quite the 40% level, but we'll see how this does. We'll kill some enemies. Yeah, I haven't shown the build at all because it's not really relevant to any of this. So let's kill some stuff, see what it does for our glow meter. All right, there's a hound, so we do that. Let's just see how full we can get with our, how much this would do. Now, I would tend to go into combat with a full glow meter. But you can see, yeah, this, I don't know what the damage is gonna be like, but at the moment, everything just dies instantly. But yeah, we've already filled it pretty quick. So yeah, 20 rads per kill. So for general mobbing, this is, yeah, okay. I think this effect, especially for a 3rd star for something like this, I mean, normally I would maybe put faster reload, something like that, but you can see the Ghoul, you know, with all the perks, the Ghoul could actually get the reloads crazy fast, and I don't need fast to reload, but that wasn't that many enemies, and we went from like 40, you know, maybe 42%, something like that, up to 77, 78. So it moves the needle. It's a noticeable amount. This is I like this effect a lot. I think this will be one that I'll definitely go to, at least for, you know, slower firing weapons, something like a hand cannon. And this character normally uses black powder weapons. Again, slow firing as well. Let's try a couple more ghouls though, or not a couple more ghouls, a couple more super mutants, and see how full we can get that. Yeah, the bar's up to 80% now. So pretty easy to keep this thing full, and you can see this thing is all kinds of fun to use. I can't wait till the damage is actually adjusted properly, and then I can actually do a proper test. And it also doesn't seem to matter whether you're in VATS or not. It's not a VATS effect if you somewhere. Oh, there we go. It's not a VATS only effect. So all it matters is the kill, not whether you're in VATS or not, which is good. So whatever your playstyle is as a ghoul, this is definitely, I mean, especially for a melee character where you're going to take a lot more hits, I think this would be a go-to 3rd star, maybe competing with strength. I'm not sure. And there you have it, new legendary effects that I think could be helpful with the Ghoul playstyle. Now, this is scheduled for the December update, so anything is possible in terms of changes, so keep that in mind. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit one of the buttons, and I hope you'll join me in the next one. Thank you very much.